Okay, well, we'll get this presentation started here. So again, I would just like to say good evening and thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Cindy Erickson, Tour Coordinator with Westworld Tours, and I'll be facilitating the presentation this evening. Joining me to tell you all about the great sights you'll enjoy on this tour is Leanne House, who's our General Manager for Westworld Tours and Women Explorers. Welcome, Leanne.
Good evening, everyone.
So before I turn the presentation over to Leanne, I have a couple of items I'd like to discuss. And first up is questions. We love to get your questions and we encourage you to ask questions at any time throughout the presentation. Of course, we do have everybody on mute. So we ask that you type your question into the Q&A box located on your screen, and we will get to your questions at the end of the presentation. But don't wait to the end. If you think of a question while we're going along, just type it in there right away, and we will be sure to answer it. If you've joined us on Facebook, you can type your questions into the comment section, and we will check there as well at the end of the presentation to make sure we get to your questions as well. Got a little lineup here of our future presentations. So next week, we will be presenting on our new tour to Thailand. That'll be February 7th at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. And then on February 15th, we will have our presentation on Hawaii. And we're really looking forward and happy to be going back to our land and sea tour in Hawaii. So hopefully you'll join us that evening. Again, all times are Central Standard Time at 7 o'clock p.m. And then on February 28th, we are going to do a presentation on our Grape to Glass tour, which is our wine tour to the Kelowna wine country. It's a great tour. I know last year when we did this tour, we had great feedback. Everybody thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, that's February 28th at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you would like to, stay up to date on our future presentations, as well as any of our new tours, we do encourage you to sign up for our e-newsletter, which will come out about once a month. We don't inundate you with emails, and you can certainly unsubscribe at any time. So if you'd like to do that, you can go to our website at westworldtours.com/subscribe and enter your information there, and you will start receiving the information on our presentations and our new tours as well. Here's a quick preview of our upcoming presentation that's going to happen on Hawaii. So that tour is going to leave January 19th to February 1st, 2025. And you will enjoy a leisurely 6 nights in picturesque Waikiki. You'll get to visit Pearl Harbor and witness the awe-inspiring Battleship Missouri Memorial, affectionately known as the Mighty Mo, and explore the captivating Aviation Museum. You'll traverse the northeastern shore of Oahu, taking in the serenity of the northeastern shore with its breathtaking landscapes. You'll explore the rich tapestry of cultures at the Polynesian Cultural Center, and you'll experience an exquisite dinner and captivating show while you're there. Then after you've had your time, your 6 nights in Waikiki, you're going to embark for a 7-night cruise, charting a course around the stunning Hawaiian Islands, including Maui, the Big Island, and Kauai. You'll experience more of the breathtaking natural beauty that defines the essence of the Hawaiian Islands. It'll be a total of 15 days. Of course, you're just covering the one country, and it will include 25 meals. So if you'd like some more information on that tour, we hope you'll sign up for that presentation, and or you can email us at inquiries@westworldtours.com or contact your local travel agent, and they'll be more than happy to provide you with more information. So a little bit about Westworld Tours. We are Western Canada's premier tour company, And we've been serving Canadians from coast to coast with escorted travel throughout North America and around the world since 2000, offering quality components, modern coaches, professional tour directors, experienced courteous drivers, excellent accommodations, including sightseeing and attractions, and many meals are included throughout our tours as well. So on to our Black Hills and Medora, which is coming. Oh, goodness, we've got summer 2022 on here. That's a little outdated. It will be summer of 2024, and we will have those dates for you, I think, on our next slide. But with that, we ask you to dust off your boots and climb aboard our Wild West adventure through the Dakotas on our tour to the Black Hills and Medora. There are plenty of things to see and do in the Black Hills and the Badlands, from monuments and wildlife to incredible landscapes. You'll find granite spires, fresh mountain lakes, and thousands of breathtaking views. You'll tour the Badlands. You'll see Mount Rushmore and Crazy Horse Memorial. You'll discover the Wild West legends in Deadwood, attend the greatest show in the West at the Medora Musical, experience the cowboy shenanigans at the Chuck Wagon Dinner and Show in Fort Hayes, and you'll learn the history of the bison and the culture of Native Americans as you explore Tatanka, the story of the bison, which was founded by Kevin Costner, and when he was filming Dances with Wolves. And of course, who doesn't love a pitchfork fondue? So with this, I'm going to introduce her to Leanne, and Leanne is going to go through all the exciting attractions and sites that you're going to see on our Black Hills and Medora tour. So take it away, Leanne.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. Okay, so we will get right into the Black Hills. So like Cindy said, this is summer 2024. The dates will be July 21st to 27th. And on this photo here, you'll see a visual map of the route that we take, traveling south from Saskatoon, making pickups along the way. Medora will be our first evening. And we have actually added an extra day this year based on customer feedback, just allowing us to be able to spend a little bit more time exploring. So traveling through the Badlands, we make our way to Deadwood for the next 4 nights, and then exploring Miles City before returning back home. So as you can see here, we have many highlights, including all your breakfast and your dinners. Like Cindy said, we visit Tatanka, Crazy Horse Memorial, Bear Gardens, Devil's Tower, and just so much more. Multi-night stays in Deadwood, and then all your breakfasts and dinners. And speaking of dinners, upon your arrival in Medora, you're treated to a taste of the Wild West, the pitchfork fondue. And if you don't know what that is, I'm sure you can imagine, based on the photo we see here, the pitchfork fondue is just what you're seeing. Chefs load ribeye steaks onto pitchforks and fondue them, Western style, in an iconic Medora experience. So you can see some photos here of the lovely meal, the lovely views that you'll get, and just an experience to see them grilling your steaks. And as we move on, a little history, a little humor, and a whole lot of Western spirit. Experience the ultimate country Western music show in Medora. This live outdoor spectacle showcases a variety of music favorites from dolly to disco. It's a good old-fashioned family fun with a thrilling variety of acts, live horses on stage, a firework finale, and new twists each summer. And all while celebrating the history of Medora, Teddy Roosevelt, and the historic American West. And this year, 2024, the renowned Medora Musical is actually celebrating their 60th edition. So that's an exciting time to visit. Okay, as we travel further south, enjoy a scenic drive through the North Dakota Badlands and the south rim of Theodore Roosevelt Park. The south unit of the park is or was established to protect and preserve the unique Badlands. The park offers stunning scenic views, as you can see in the bottom right-hand photo, diverse flora and fauna, and lots of recreational opportunities. As you drive into the park, you can enjoy views overlooking Medora, Chimney Butte, the ranch there, and also visiting the visitor center. And as you may know, Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th President of the United States, played a significant role in the history of the park. He first visited the region in 1883 to hunt bison. Struck by the beauty of the Badlands and influenced by his passion for conservation, Roosevelt often returned. And experiences he had in the Badlands influenced his views on conservation and inspired many of his conservation policies. From the visitor center, you can view the Maltese Cross cabin, and the cabin was constructed for Theodore Roosevelt in the late 1800s as he invested in the Chimney Butte Ranch, and this cabin was his temporary home. And that's not the photo that you're seeing, though, on the top left. We'll go back one slide there. Perfect. So Chateau de Mours is what you're seeing in the top left-hand corner. It's located southwest of Medora, and it's a site that memorializes the life and activities of North Dakota of Antoine de Valbrosa. And he's a Marquis de Mours who arrived in 1883. Among his enterprise was a beef packing plant, stagecoach line, freighting company, refrigerated rail cars, cattle and sheep raising, land ownership, and the new town that is Medora, in honor of his wife. The chateau, as seen in the top left-hand corner, is a 26-room, two-story frame building that was built in 1883 as a summer residence for the Marquis family. It is now a historic house museum and contains many of the original furnishings and personal effects of the de Mours family. And so from there, we will travel into Deadwood with a stop at your hotel before dinner. And into famous Deadwood. Many of you probably know the history here, but in 1876, the Wild West town of Deadwood was born when prospectors came across a gulch full of dead trees and a creek full of gold. Historic Deadwood, South Dakota, is just as wild today as it was when legends like Wild Bill Hickok, Calamity Jane, and Seth Bullock roamed the streets. You can visit the historic Mount Moriah Cemetery, which is situated on a mountainous plateau overlooking Deadwood Gulch. It's the final resting place of Western legends, murderers, madames, and pillars of Deadwood's early economic development, such as, you guessed it, Wild Bill Hickok and Calamity Jane. And so in the top right-hand corner, you'll see a photo of the sign hanging at saloon number 10. And as you may have guessed it, this is where it all started and where it still happens. Bold murder during broad daylight in a boomer's saloon on a near hopeless gold claim. All keys in the pages of Deadwood's loud and lusty past evolved into the now famous saloon number 10. This is where Wild Bill Hickok met his demise, and the sawdust still covers the floor. Thousands of artifacts and antiques grace the walls and ceilings. The faces of history live in hundreds of historical photos of Deadwood's most famous and infamous characters. So stop in for a whiskey and watch the historical reenactments. And later, Kevin Costner invites you to experience the history before Hickok. Inspired by his time with the Lakota people while filming Dances with the Wolves, Tatanka focuses on the symbolic relationship between the Lakota and the North American plains bison. The centerpiece of Tatanka is the third largest bronze sculpture in the world. It's composed of a total of 17 pieces, 14 bison being pursued by 3 Lakota riders on bareback. These figures artfully depict the earliest and most effective form of hunting bison, called a bison jump. So you get to learn all about that when you visit Tatanka. And from there, we will visit Bear Country, USA. Nestled on over 200 acres amidst towering pines and along rolling meadows, just 8 miles south of Rapid City, is Bear Country, USA, offering visitors intimate views of most North American mammals. Take a leisurely 3-mile drive through several enclosures and encounter black bear, elk, reindeer, deer, cougars, bobcats, Rocky Mountain goats, bighorn sheep, Dall sheep, pronghorns, and buffalo. And then we will visit Reptile Gardens, which is the best place to see some of the most beautiful gardens and exotic birds in the Black Hills area. And there's a lot more than just snakes there, so make sure you have a chance to wander through there. Moving on to our next slide, excuse me. Dances with Wolves, for those of you who don't know it, is an American epic Western film that was filmed, that was released in the 1990s, starring Kevin Costner and Graham Greene. At Fort Hays, you can tour the film set, and it features the original buildings used in the movie inside the South Dakota Movie Museum, which includes remnants of over 50 other movies that were filmed in South Dakota. You can wander into the old West Town Square, where you'll find artisans creating handmade tools, ropes, bricks, tin plates, knives, you name it. You can even pan for Black Hills gold at the gem shop. And continuing the Old West theme, you will enjoy a chuck wagon dinner. When the supper bell rings, it's time to experience what a hearty meal was like for a cowboy or a cowgirl out on the range, all the way down to the authentic tin plate and cup. The menu includes a mouth-watering lineup of chuck wagon potatoes, beef or chicken, Western baked beans, and old-fashioned spice cake. So while you finish up your meal, entertainment takes the stage with the Fort Hays Wranglers as they fill your evening with great music and lots of laughter. All right, and now moving on to Crazy Horse Memorial, which is located at the heart of the beautiful Black Hills. The elevation on this mountain is 6,532 feet above sea level and ranks 27th highest mountain in South Dakota. It is made of pegmatite granite. And for those that don't know, Crazy Horse was born as a member of the Oglala Lakota on Rapid Creek about 40 miles northeast of Thunderhead Mountain, which is now Crazy Horse Mountain, in 1840. It was a time when cultures clashed and land became an issue of deadly contention, and traditional native ways were threatened and oppressed. Crazy Horse responded by putting the needs of his people above his own, which would forever embed him and his legacy into American history. He was killed at Fort Robinson in Nebraska by a soldier around midnight on September 5th, 1877. And you can see in the sculpture that he is depicted or sculptured riding his steed out of the granite of the sacred Black Hills with his left hand gesturing forward. And just a few facts on the dimensions of Crazy Horse. So the horse's face is 87 feet. The outstretched arm is 263 feet. Opening of the underarm is 70 feet wide and 100 feet high, and his finger is 29 feet. So it's quite large and quite a something to see. And then Mount Rushmore. Of course, we can't visit the Black Hills without visiting Mount Rushmore, which is, we'll just go back one slide there. Mount Rushmore is located in the Black Hills, of course, of South Dakota. It's a monumental sculpture carved into a granite face of the mountain. and it's created by sculptor Gutzon Borglum and his son Lincoln. Construction began in 1927 and was completed in 1941. The sculpture features the 60-foot tall faces of iconic U.S. presidents George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. The selection of these presidents was intended to represent the nation's birth, growth, development, preservation, and this project was not without controversy as it was located in the Black Hills, a region sacred to the Lakota Sioux. And Mount Rushmore has since become a symbol of American democracy and exceptionalism, drawing millions of annual visitors who come to admire both the artistic achievement and the historical significance of the monument. From there, we leave the Black Hills and start heading northward again, traveling towards Miles City, Montana, where you'll visit Devil's Tower, also known as Bear's Lodge to the Lakota Sioux. It's a striking geological formation located in northeastern Wyoming, and it is rising dramatically at 1,267 feet above the Belle Fourche River. And it is composed of hexagonal columns and is considered sacred by several Native American tribes. In 1906, President Roosevelt designated Devil's Tower as the first national monument, recognizing its unique geological features and cultural significance. The tower holds spiritual and cultural importance for Indigenous communities, featuring prominently its various tribal legends. Devil's Tower attracts climbers, hikers, and tourists from around the world, fascinated by its natural beauty and significance. And this evening, you will enjoy a farewell dinner and reminisce with your fellow travelers about your time through the Black Hills. And as your time draws to a close, you will travel back to Saskatchewan and hope that we will have you join us on another tour.
Thanks, Leanne. That was very informative. One thing I do really like about this tour is that it's short and sweet and full of wonderful attractions and great moments. And nothing is more fun than the Wild West, that's for sure. It's a fun tour. I know that for sure. So we can get to your questions now, and we're happy to answer any questions that you might have. Again, temperatures in July are going to run in your high 20s, very comfortable weather, very similar to what we experience here in the prairies at that time. Again, it does include all your breakfasts and dinners, and it's July 21st to July 27th. And this really is a great tour for anyone who has never traveled by motor coach before or taken a motor coach tour before. It's a great opener because it's, there's lots of inclusions, and yet it's a great way to experience for the first time if you haven't had that opportunity before. So I'm not sure what we have any questions. Leanne, have you checked on Facebook to see if there's any questions there?
I haven't. I'll just follow up. It looks like we do have a question on in the chat, and it's how many days is this tour? So this tour is 8 days, July 21st until the 28th, or sorry, July 21st until the 27th.
Yeah.
There was also a question wondering whether the presentations and previous ones have been recorded, and yes, they are. They can be found on our website under the virtual presentations tab. And for anyone that is interested, let me just see whether I sent that back. I will put it in the chat, and you will be able to click the link if you need to find any of the previous presentations.
There we go. Let's see, you've put the link in the chat, and we could probably have that posted on Facebook as well, perhaps. Yep, great. Another way to find it is easily on our website at westworldtours.com. There's a tab there for video presentations where all of our presentations, past and present, are listed. And it's easy for you to sort from newest. That gives you kind of an option on our website as to most relevant. If you select newest, then you will have our most recent presentations listed in order. So very easy to find that way as well. And again, we really hope that you can join us for our future presentations that are going to be coming up. And again, we will be sending out a follow-up email to everybody, and you'll have a link to the information. And we do, again, encourage you to follow us on Facebook. You can find out more information on any of our tours by visiting our website or emailing us at information@westworldtours.com, and following us on Facebook or reaching out to your local preferred travel agent. And we really do thank you for joining us this evening. We're experiencing some beautiful weather where we are, so I hope you're experiencing the same. And I wish you a wonderful rest of the evening.